Hello and welcome back to the Campbell Family Deck Project. It is September 30th, 2020. We last talked to you on August 1st with a video update of what was going on with the deck. Just to review, we started the deck back on June 24th or 25th. And starting there up to August 1st was mostly laying out the footers, digging the footers, putting in the post and the beam, and we had just started to put in some joist at that point. We also had most of the ledger board work done at that time. So a lot has happened since that time. You can see the deck is pretty much framed. We actually just got our framing inspection done by the county today and passed. And brief description of the structure. So basically all of the joists are 2x10 joists. There are 51 of them. And that includes a couple of triple joists that are built up and actually bolted together to support a triple header that's also bolted, that spans about 10.5 feet over the bay door area. So there's one triple joist there, another triple joist here, and then we also have a set of double joists and a double header spanning around the chimney. So the triple header and the double header actually support the joists that aren't able to be attached to ledger boards. So we're up on top of the deck now to show a couple of close-ups of some details. One area I mentioned is the framing is not completely done. There's some blocking left to do. I have to do some blocking by the chimney and also here by the bay door to cover this triangular shaped area formed by the header and the triple joist. So some 2x10 pieces need to go in there to support the decking that'll be there. Also, this is a good place where you can see a close-up of the hardware for the ledger board hardware and also the built-up joist hardware. That's all stainless steel hardware, the bolts and nuts and washers. The hangers are all galvanized metal. Also, while we're here, I can show you that we've done blocking in the middle of the span of the joist, and also, which is not required by code, but what is required by code for our county now, and it's new to the code, is blocking over the beam. So there's blocking between all of the joists. And this is also a good place to show you some of our detail on the rail posts. So for the railing posts, what we've done is we've added additional blocking to help secure up and keep the rim board nice and tight. And then we've also used this Simpson strong tie, tension tie construction to transfer the securing of the bolt kind of way out here into the blocking to make for a really secure connection. And the reason the tension tie goes on the top is that your most common issue would be a lateral force to the outside being applied to the post by a person or a child or whatever. And all of this extra, there are actually 8 lag screws holding this tension tie into the blocking. So that really secures things up there nicely. We've also got additional blocking here on the very last, the first and last bays of the deck, because we're going to picture frame the decking. So there'll be 2 deck boards wide of a continuous picture frame all the way around the deck. So therefore, those deck boards, since it's the Trex and it's flexible, will need support every 12 inches. So that's why there's additional blocking here. There's a little bit more detail on the staircase. We actually wanted to go with a nice wide staircase. So we made the staircase approximately 6 feet wide. We put in a total of 9 stringers. So they're about 10 inches on center apart, which is closer than the code. So it should be nice and sturdy. They're all hung with sloped joist hangers, which you can see here that are nailed in. And I found this technique online. We plan to do some mitering of our deck boards. So the reason there's blocking here in the end bays is that the front of the 2 deck boards for each step will be mitered at a 45, and there'll be a return piece going back this way. And then the second deck board will only span to about the midway between the first and last stringers. So this extra blocking is to accommodate the fasteners that will hold in those mitered pieces of decking. Okay, back up on top here. As we mentioned in the previous video, the dimensions of the deck are 15 by 40, so it's approximately 600 square feet or just under. We do plan to do that picture frame pattern with the Trex decking around the perimeter, and then the infill will just be straight Trex boards. So they'll be alternating with 2 20-foot boards and then a 20-foot board in the middle with 2 10-foot boards in the ends, approximately, inside of that picture frame. We do plan to use a joist protect tape on top of all the joists to resist water penetration into the board where the fasteners go. The brand we're using is Trex Protect. So that'll be one step we have to do before putting the decking down. Also, we are installing Trex lighting products, so there'll be lights in the post caps and also lights in the riser. So we plan to run all of that interconnect wiring before we put the decking down. And also going forward from here, once the decking is done, we've got Trex railing products for the railing. So the posts will be cut down. We actually left them in a little bit long, so they'll be cut down about 5 or 6 inches. We're going with the 42-inch rail height. So the final post height for the 4x4 I think is going to be around 45 inches. So the sleeve will go around that, the cap with an LED light fixture in, wired to the wiring we talked about. And then there'll be Trex railing going between all of the posts. We're doing the spiced run decking, the railing, the post sleeves, the horizontal pieces will be black. Also the balusters will be the black round aluminum balusters. And then the finishing touch on all that will be a 2x4 Trex board that matches the spiced run decking as a cocktail rail between each post. One final note on our stairs. We decided to support the stringers with a double 2x10 beam, and that is supported by 2 additional 6x6 posts. And there are several metal brackets tying that double 2x10 into the end rim joists, making for a pretty secure connection. The 6x6 posts, in this case, instead of using the ground level post base, we actually embedded them in the concrete to give more lateral support. And it took about, just like on the other holes, it took about 10 bags of the 80-pound stuff for each of those 18 by 18 footers, so about 800 pounds of concrete per hole. And then for our base support for the bottom of the stringers, we actually did a 6-inch thick concrete pad all the way across the base. And then that pad is supported by 4 pillars, one under each of the posts. So this post is embedded down into a 30-inch deep footer. Same here. And then there are 2 additional 30-inch footers in the middle. So this concrete pour here, I think, was more around 1,300 or 1,400 pounds of concrete, since it's got the 4 piers that are 30 inches deep. They're 10 by 10. And the full 6-inch pad is about 10 inches wide and 6 feet long. So one last detail on the railing post I wanted to show you is that what we've done here with the bolts is we've countersunk the heads of the bolts by about 1/4 inch, which will facilitate us adding our fascia board over the band joist later without having the bolts being in the way. And then here's a close-up of our Simpson strong tie tension tie, and we did go with the stainless steel ties and stainless steel lag screws to accommodate the stainless steel bolt here, so we weren't using dissimilar metals. So this concludes the September 30 update on the Campbell deck project, and we'll see you again on the next update.